Let's pray in silence. Amen. In the name of Lord Jesus, we commence our lesson in the morning. Let's sing hymn 380. Let's kneel down and pray in the name of Jesus. In the name of Lord Jesus Christ we pray. Hallelujah. In the name of Lord Jesus Christ, I speak. We thank God. We have arrived on the last day of AMTC and also the last 3 lessons on the Holy Sabbath. Right? Now, when we started to talking about the Sabbath, I emphasize saying that the main purpose for us to study the doctrine of the Sabbath is for us to know how to keep the Sabbath. Because the Sabbath is a commandment. It's not something that we study and possess it as a knowledge, but something that we need to put into practice in our everyday life as a Christian. Right? So, in our lesson, we covered the origin of the Sabbath or institution of the Sabbath. We also talked about God's intended purpose for the Sabbath. Now we're going to look at the final topic of the Sabbath. That is the crucial part of the Sabbath. That is how to keep the Sabbath as modern day Christians. Right. Now let's turn to after Genesis, when God instituted the Sabbath in chapter 2, verse 1 to 3, you find that there's no more mention of the Sabbath until in Exodus chapter 16. All right? Can you turn to Exodus chapter 16, please? In Genesis chapter 2, verse 1 to 3, did God give any instruction how we should keep the Sabbath at all? I'm talking about Genesis chapter 2, verse 1 to 3. We know He established a Sabbath. Did He give us any instruction how to keep it? No. Okay. And it was in Exodus chapter 16, where He using the sending of the manna as a way to teach the Israelites to keep the Sabbath. Right? So in Exodus chapter 16, okay, we read chapter 16. We look at verse 15. Can you please read, please? 15?
So when the children of Israel saw it, they said to one another, "What is it?" For they did not know what it was. And Moses said to them, "This is the bread which the Lord has given you to eat."
Continue, sorry.
This is the thing which the Lord has commanded. Let every man gather it according to each one's needs, 1 omer for each person, according to the number of persons. Let every man take for those who are in his tent.
Continue.
Then the children of Israel did so and gathered some more and some less. So when they measured it by omers, they who gathered much had nothing left over, and he who gathered little had no lack. Every man had gathered according to each one's need. And Moses said, "Let no one leave any of it till morning." Notwithstanding, they did not heed Moses, but some of them left part of it until morning, and ate bread, worms, and snake. And Moses was angry with them. So they gathered it every morning, every man according to his need, and when the sun became hot, it melted. And so it was on the 6th day that they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for each one. And all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses. Then he said to them, "This is what the Lord has said. Tomorrow is the Sabbath rest, a holy Sabbath to the Lord. Bake what you will bake today, and boil what you will boil, and lay up for yourselves all that remains, to be kept until morning." So they laid it up till morning, as Moses commanded, and it did not sink, nor were there any words in it. Then Moses said, Eat that today, for today is a Sabbath to the Lord. Today you will not find it in the field. 6 days you shall gather it, but on the seventh day, the Sabbath, there will be none.
Thank you. Okay. Now this is the instruction given by Moses, well, from God to Moses, Moses to the people, how they should keep the Sabbath, right? So in here, if you look at just verse 26, he said, 6 days you shall gather it, but on the seventh day, the Sabbath, there will be none, right? Okay. So what God is doing is that using the sending of manna and also collecting of manna to teach them how to keep the Sabbath. So the instruction, in fact, is quite clear. 6 days, you can go out and gather the manna, but on the seventh day, you don't go out, you rest at home instead, right? So this is like a repeated cycle, 7 days. 6 days, you go out to work. On the seventh day, you stay at home. Okay? Now there's a question here. How many manna do they collect each day? How much manna do they collect each day? Same for throughout the 6 days? Huh? On the 6th day to each. Okay, read verse 16. Please read. Huh? 1 each. Let every man take for those who are in the tent, right? According to the number, 1 omer for each person. So is that same for from day 1 to day 6? But are they supposed to gather double portion on the 6th day? Yes? Why? Why does it say that? So you go out on the 6th day, gather twice as much. Where does it say that? No, they said they gather twice as much. But doesn't mean that's the instruction. No? We look at verse 4. Verse 4. Please read.
Say to Moses, Behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a certain quarter every day, that I may test them, whether they will walk in my law or not.
Okay. They need to gather what? Every day is the... So is every day the same? Huh? Huh? May not be the same. Okay, read verse 5.
And it shall be on the 6th day that they shall prepare what they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily.
So what's that mean?
So it means that they collect the same quota, but when they prepare it, it just turns into twice as much.
Is that what it said, yeah?
Yeah, that's what it says there.
Mm-hmm. According to this instruction, God is saying to you that you go out to work from Monday to Friday, right, or Sunday to Friday. Yeah. You will bring in the same portion, whatever. But because like the Sabbath is a blessing from God, yeah. So not only God will allow you to have a day of rest on the 7th day, but God also provide you what you need on the 7th day. even though you don't go out and pick the manna. Because what you bring in on the sixth day, when you prepare it, will become twice as much. Yes.
Can I just clarify because I'm not clear? Is it that God rained certain amounts kind of each day, and then on the sixth day, in a way doubled it, or was it consistent with that?
Sorry.
From the first day to the fifth day, did God rain kind of the same amount, and then on the sixth day, did He rain double? Is that why when the Israelites came out, and then they brought it to Moses, he was like, look, there's spices. Or is it they just bring, or does God like rain?
I'm not quite sure how many manna God actually rained each day. But all I know is that God gave them instructions saying you need to go out and pick a certain quota, a quota every day, right? This quota should be same, right? According to verse 16, it should be what? 1 omer for each person, right? You do the same from the first day to the sixth day. It's just that on the sixth day, when you bring it back, when you prepare it, you find, there's twice as much. So what you do is that, the portion, you save it for the Sabbath on the seventh day, which means that you don't have to go out on the Sabbath, but yet you still have enough, you still have food to eat. Right? So from here, is actually very encouraging in a way, right? I think most of us, when we're talking about keeping the Sabbath, what we're afraid of is that if I don't work on a Saturday, on a Sabbath day, I might suffer. I might not have enough income to support my family, to pay off the mortgage or pay off the car, whatever, right? But God said, no, I will give you twice as much. Yeah. You do the same work every day, but on the sixth day, I will give you twice as much. Yeah? So it's a double blessing from God. Right? You have the day of rest, and yet God still provide you with what you need. You don't have to work for it. I think this is kind of faith that we should have. Right? Now, regarding the commandments of God, you find if you keep the commandments of God, it always comes with blessing, comes with promise. Only when you put faith in God's promise, that you will realize the promise upon yourself. You will receive the fulfillment of the promise. Right? Okay. Now, we come to the second question. Verse 22. Yes. Verse 22. So it was on the sixth day that they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omer for each one. And then all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses. Okay. What happened here? What happened here?
They're surprised that they got twice as much bread, but manna, and then so they went to report to Moses, and it's like, "What's up?"
Yeah.
I thought they would disobey God's commandment. God told them 1 to 6 gather the same amount every day, but then the people on the sixth day are like, "That doesn't seem right." So they gathered twice as much, and then the rulers realized that's not exactly what they're supposed to be doing. So then they tattletaled to Moses.
But did Moses rebuke them? Did they go out and gather twice as much, or they just gather the one quota that they should gather, but when they came back, they become twice as much.
They went out and picked up twice.
Twice, yeah. Which means that they go against the instruction. But if that's the case, how come Moses did not rebuke them?
Because the next day is Sabbath.
Yes.
Just to stand by.
Okay. So Moses said to them, tomorrow is a Sabbath rest, a holy Sabbath to the Lord. Bake what you will bake today and boil what you will boil. And lay out for yourself all the remains to keep until morning. Also, they lay out until morning as Moses commanded, and did not stink, nor were there any worm in it. Yeah. So you find that the portion, normally if you gather too much and save some in the morning, it will become, it will be worm and it will be like stank, right? But not this time, because this is like God's provision for you on the Sabbath day. It's the seventh day, right? So it seems that they have gone out and gathered twice as much, which is something they shouldn't do. But yet, Moses did not rebuke them. But we can also see, on verse 27, please read. Now it happened that some of the people went out on the seventh day together, but they found none. Okay. It's just like in 26. Verse 26 said, now 6 days you shall gather it, but on the seventh day, the Sabbath, there will be none. Basically, Moses told them, on that day you need to rest, don't go out, right? There will be none anyway. Did these people listen? Yeah, right? They didn't listen, right? So some of them actually go and try to look for man. So you find that if you say they actually disobey the commandment of Moses, they went to God twice as much. That doesn't surprise me. Because at that time, that's something not really new to them, right? Right? So even on the seventh day, they did not obey Moses' instruction. They still went out and tried to look for the manna. Yeah. And you find that was God angry about what they did? Verse 28. 28, please read.
And the Lord said to Moses, how long do you refuse to keep my commandments and my laws?
29.
See, for the Lord has given you the Sabbath. He gives you on the sixth day bread for 2 days. Let every man remain in his place. Let no man go out of his place on the seventh day.
Okay. Did God punish the people who went out on the Sabbath day? These people who went out to look for the manna, yeah, in violation of Moses' instruction. Did God punish them at all? No. Why is God so lenient to them here? Huh? God loved them. But later on, when they found the Sabbath, they were put to death. They still really new? Yeah. Mm. Okay. So in here, when God given this instruction, is it the Ten Commandments? No, that's before the Ten Commandments. The punishment came after the Ten Commandments. You know, when God put the instruction into the Ten Commandments, which means that this is something that you have to keep. If you don't keep it, what happens? You'll be judged by God. Yeah? But in here, we do see something that's very clear. That's how to keep the Sabbath. That's in verse 29. Seeing for the Lord have given you the Sabbath, therefore he gave you on the 6th day bread for 2 days. Let every man remain in his place. Let no man go out for his place on the 7th day. Yeah? So the people rested on the 7th day. This is the principle of how we should keep the Sabbath. On the 7th day, on the Sabbath day, what you do? You stay at home. You don't go out. Right? Because like from the 1st day to the 6th day, what did they do? They go out from their tents. They go to the wilderness and pick manna. It's just like today for us. From Monday to Friday, what? We go out from our house. We go to the office. We go to the school. We go to what? I know, our own shop or our own business to work and earn money. But on the Sabbath day, you need to stay home, stay at home. You don't go out to work. Right? This is the principle given by God here. Obviously, if you work in your home, that's a different thing altogether. Right? You cannot say, I'm staying at home, but, you know. So now you understand the principle, right? Any question on this one?
So when people say like they do grocery shopping,
Basically.
like I could do it on other days, but then because I go to work so I'm busy, can I do grocery shopping
Sunday?
Saturday.
Sunday.
on Sunday?
Can you not do it on a Sunday?
I don't know. I mean, just thinking aloud. Or like have brunch with my mom outside, like before I go to church.
No, I'll tell you what. Do it on Saturday evening. Yeah. Especially if you want to buy some grocery, you go to Sainsbury about 8 o'clock. It will be very cheap.
What about like needs like cooking for cooking on a Sabbath day? Cooking on a Sabbath day, you need like
Cooking on a Sabbath day?
yeah. If nobody were to cook, what do you eat on a Sabbath then?
But is there an instruction here you're not allowed to cook on a Sabbath day?
Yes. But do they cook here on a Sabbath day? Does the kitchen open in the Sabbath day?
Well, here, the only instruction I see is that
Yeah.
they rested, they don't go out to pick manna.
Yes. That's what I'm referring to now.
Yeah. Which means that you don't go out to work on a Sabbath day. That's it. This is the principle. Right? Obviously, later on, you say there's more instruction on how to keep the Sabbath. But all this is just an indication to us what this means by work. Right? Because like the term work is just a generic term, right? It can entail quite a lot of things. Right? If you look from the book, from the Bible, we look at next one up here in Exodus chapter 34. Thirty-four 21. Now please read.
6 days you shall work, but on the 7th day you shall rest. In plowing time and in harvest you shall rest.
Okay. In here is more specific on time of work. Is what? Farming, right? Something to do with farming. There's two busy seasons in farming. That is one to till the ground, prepare for sowing the seed. Another busy time is for harvesting, right? Even though in this very busy time, of your agriculture calendar, whatever you call them, right? You still need to rest. You cannot use this as an excuse, say, oh, Saturday is very busy, so therefore I have to work. If I don't work on a Saturday, my business will go bankrupt or something. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. Certain profession where you have to constantly, every Sabbath. I think you just need to think of it. If you are not able to attend the Sabbath service, right, throughout a long period of the time, is that good for your, say, refreshing of your soul? Uh-huh. Then I say to you, get something that is more steady. If you're not actually, if you know that time of work can actually take you away from the Sabbath constantly, then you might be, for the sake of your faith, think a little bit more carefully, because not only being a doctor, you can also do something very stable, like I don't know, be a GP or something, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So. Huh? No, ask your father. If I give you the wrong advice, your dad will be very cross.
And Sabbath as well. So when a deacon advised me to maybe pray about it or change job, I do pray about it.
Yes.
So I'm very grateful that God opened a way for me that I don't have to work Saturday anymore. But one day he was discussing a topic on observing the Sabbath, and he was testifying on a doctor from Kuala Lumpur that he said he used to open full day on the Sabbath, but eventually he opened half day, and he said, thank God for that. So I stopped the deacon. I say, I remember you told me not to work on the Sabbath, but how come it's like one, like very lenient to, because he's a doctor and because my profession is not so good. Then he stopped track and he said, yeah, I apologize for that. Everyone should be the same. Doctor eventually only opened half day and became half day to observe Sabbath. That's what he said.
I think it doesn't matter what kind of profession, right? If you realize, if I go into this profession, it will actually affect my relationship with God or affect me keeping the Sabbath, then you need to think twice. You cannot choose like a profession over God's commandment. Right? Okay, let's look at another one, right? It's quite interesting here in Exodus 34, verse 21. At that time, they were still in the wilderness. They were not actually farmers. But after they entered the land of Canaan, most of them became farmers. But this is telling us that, it doesn't matter what kind of profession you're in. You cannot use that as an excuse, say, I have to open my shop on a Saturday because this is business time. You You cannot use that as excuse, right? Yes.
What if, like Carmen said, it is just because you need that experience in order to get something else? Because, like, when I first came to London as well, the first job that I had, like, you know, it was I was looking for in a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, hotels is normal as well to have to work on the weekends. And when I got that job, it was kind of like Carmen's, where I was working at least 1 or 2 Saturdays a month and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it was only because, you know, it's rare to get that in the industry, and it had to complete like the whole condition of like the contract. So I had to complete the 1 year in order to graduate and stuff, and then afterwards I could find something else. So I don't know, because if it's circumstance like that, I don't know if that
Okay.
makes sense.
We have a brother in Newcastle. He South African, yeah. He happens to work for a brother who opens like Chinese takeaway, right? But he's very insistent that he need to keep the Sabbath. So he said, I will not work on a Friday, but I will come in Saturday evening, right? So that on Friday, for Friday evening, he will attend the Sabbath service, then also attend the Sabbath service on Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon until the Sabbath finish, then he will go to work, right? Now, in order for the boss to accept his request, he have to put in extra work on weekdays just to make up the hours, yeah. I think sometimes if you want to negotiate with your boss or something, you need to make some sort of sacrifice because of your faith, because you want to keep the Sabbath. You can actually say to your boss, sometimes when you need to do shift work, sometimes you have no choice. Oh, you have to come on a Saturday, something like that. But you can always negotiate with them, obviously, pray to God, ask God to open a way for you, say, maybe I will put in double shift on a Sunday, something like that, as long as I can have my Sabbath. Yeah.
And not every place is quite as lenient on that, because I tried to give the same kind of conditions when I was applying for the job, and because it was mainly office based with fixed hours, except it was still open on some Saturdays, then the conditions didn't really work well. They exchanged some bank holidays, but it was like 7, 8 public holidays.
Yeah. I understand it's very difficult, but I think if you really want to keep the words of God, keep the commandments of God, you need to, be persistent. Yeah. Yeah. Because like when this brother before this brother working for this takeaway, he also worked in another takeaway. Also, he also insists that he need to have like Friday evening and Saturday morning and afternoon off for the Sabbath. The boss wasn't really happy about it. So the relationship was not good, and also the money that he get from his payment was also very minimum. Yeah. Also, eventually he decided this is not good. I need to do something else. So he actually, continued to pray about the matter, and look for a different job. But at the same time, he always put this condition into when he looked for work. Yeah. Now, even when he looked for works like in the warehouse, he always said, if I don't mind working in the warehouse, but I need to have my Sabbath. Yeah. He even were willing to do double shift on the weekdays and something like that, just in order to have that Sabbath free for him to go to church. I think this kind of mentality that we should have. Yeah, sometimes in this world to keep the commandments of God is not easy. Yeah, but we must have the endurance to overcome it. Yeah. and keep the faith and persist in it. Okay? Right, we're going to look at the next one. Exodus chapter 35, verse 3. Now this one might need some explanation. 35, verse 3. We'll start from verse 2, please. Please read.
Sabbath of rest to the Lord. Whoever does any work on it shall be put to death. You shall kindle no fire throughout your dwellings on the Sabbath day.
Okay. In here is very clear instruction about how to keep the Sabbath. That is, you shall kindle no fire throughout your dwelling on the Sabbath. So what is this all about? What's this all about? So why do they need to kindle fire? Huh? Cooking? Steaming? Cooking, okay. So you're not allowed to cook on the Sabbath? Huh?
In the Mosaic law, they were not allowed to cook on the Sabbath.
Because they were supplied with manna ready to eat.
Even the Jewish people in Jesus' time, they would not cook on the Sabbath.
Yes. But this is long before Jesus' time.
They didn't cook still on the Sabbath, right?
Huh?
I thought that they still did cook on the Sabbath.
Do they need to cook on the Sabbath?
No.
They don't, right?
No.
They don't.
Because on the just now the word say on the sixth day bake to bake and leave it for the
So it's people kindle fire to cook on the Sabbath, meaning that what? Meaning that these are the people who have intention to go out on the Sabbath to look for manna. So it's related to going out to work. It's not just merely you just turn on the fire and start cooking something to eat, then you're not allowed. Then you get put to death. Right? So you cannot take it in today's terms, say you cannot cook on a Sabbath day. Because if we do that, then we all do. Right? Okay, let's look at another one. Number chapter 15. Mm. 15, verse 32. Please read.
Now, while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man gathering sticks on the Sabbath day.
33, please.
And those who found him gathering sticks brought him to Moses and Aaron and to all the congregation. They put him under guard. It had not been explained what should be done to him.
35.
Then to Moses, the man must surely be put to death. All the congregation shall shall stone him with stones outside the camp. So, as the Lord commanded Moses, all the congregation brought him outside the camp and stoned him with stones, and he died.
Okay. You know, in 35 verse 3, it says, no man should work on a Sabbath, right? If you do that, you will be put to death. This is instruction, right? Because it's a commandment now. This is instruction. You violate the commandment, what happened? You get your true punishment. And here is a case, it's an incident where this person go out from the house into the wilderness and look for firewood or something, gathering sticks, right? Then he was caught and was brought to Moses, and God said to Moses, stone him to death. Right? So you find the punishment mentioned by God in 35 is not just there to tell you, oh, the Sabbath is very serious. Yeah. God actually really meant it. This is to allow us to understand the commandments of God is not something that you can take lightly. If you profane or if you violate any God's commandment, what happened? You'll be put to death. Okay. What about this man? What has he done that's so serious? Yeah. So it's all related to what? Your work. Because his intention is like gathering firewood to cook. Yeah. Which means that they want to go out and pick manna on the 7th day. Which he's not supposed to. Yeah. Yes.
On the 7th day, there's no manna, right? So isn't there no point to kindle a fire because you go out to something there?
Yes. Yes, some people just don't listen.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah. You know, in chapter 16, people already they were told not to go out, right? But they still go in, right? But at that time, Moses or God did not punish them. But when the Sabbath was included in the Ten Commandments, now there's a different time altogether, right? Yeah. Yes.
I always thought 35 verse 3, for kindling a fire always meant about also work, but it's about kindling a fire just smelts metal, so build a tabernacle. Because of the context for the chapter and the following chapters talk about how the people were building the tabernacle. It talks about bronze and it talks about gathering gold and all that kind of stuff. But
35.
Exodus 35, 36, 37. But again, it's still to do with work. So I was the context of the chapter was Moses reminding the people about this principle before they began work on the tabernacle and the ark.
But this what? Fire is throughout your dwelling on the Sabbath day. So dwelling is the place where you live, right? So for me, it's like inside your house. So I don't think it's referring to burning of or metal or building up anything related to the tabernacle, but rather referring to something that's, cooking something in your house. Okay. We just look at one more before we take a break. Let's turn to Jeremiah. Verse 22. 17 verse 22. Please read.
Nor carry a burden out of your houses on the Sabbath day, nor do any work, but follow the Sabbath day as I commanded your fathers. But they did not.
22, sorry. 17, 22?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, right. Not carry a burden out of your houses to the Sabbath day, not do any work, but hallow the Sabbath day as I commanded your fathers. Okay. Now in the book of Jeremiah, you find it already in the land of Canaan. The society is become more advanced. They're no longer just farmers. They also have other people doing other business as well, including people who carry a burden, which means that people carry stuff to buy and sell or exchange for other commodities, right? But that is considered still kind of work. So on the Sabbath day, you're not allowed to do what? Tradings, okay? You're not allowed to buy and sell. So this actually very much like related to us. If you are, just say you are your own boss, right? That you have a small shop on that sells like a mini supermarket or something like that, right? But on a Sabbath day, what do you need to do? You need to rest. Right? Because in here, you still go out from your house, right? And carry a burden, maybe to the market or something. Yeah. Okay, if we talk about trading, buying and selling, we know nowadays we don't necessarily have to go out or open a shop in order to buy or sell. You can do it on the internet. Just say if you have an eBay account or something, right? Are you allowed to buy or sell on the Sabbath? No? No. Yeah. Yeah. I say, I'm not left my house. I'm still in the house, right? So I'm not going out. But you're still trading on the internet. Okay? You need to understand these are principles. You cannot try to find a loophole.
It's like you're saying, like for female.
Yes.
Mainly for female, they are not allowed to do unnecessary things. What I'm referring to, like washing clothes and cleaning around the house apart from cooking. Is that it?
If you can show me a Bible verses, then.
No, what I'm asking is like say no workload, because some sisters tell me not to do anything, anything like cleaning the house or washing clothes on the Sabbath, apart from maybe cooking.
Because cooking is a necessity.
Yes, you need to eat.
If like taking a shower is not a necessity.
Could be if you don't stink. But after cooking, of course, sometimes we females think brothers don't have to cook. Still feel fresh. Because really some fervent sisters, that's what they tell me. Don't do washing or cleaning the house or sweeping the floor apart from what you need to cook to bring to church.
I think what they try to say to you is that don't get yourselves engaged in too much in house chore on a Sabbath day. Instead, go to the church, enjoy your Sabbath. Do not worry about, the things at home. Yeah. But it's not really a saying. Just like a restriction say you cannot do it at all. If you do it, you'll be put to death.
他是跟我说不要做家务，就是说我经常他来不了年轻人 can say 家务 is household chore.
对啊，对啊，
Saturday, about my early morning, I get up and bring the food, get the bread,
嗯
and come to church. But she's referring to my Sabbath like on Friday.
嗯哼
And I told her that after listening to the sermon, that is after 9 o'clock, 9:30,
嗯
then only I prep my things after observing the Sabbath first.
嗯哼。So after Sabbath service, you return home, right? Then she said you're not allowed to do any house chore.
This is on Friday night.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. She said try not to do household chores on
Mm.
Friday night.
Because it's still the Sabbath, right? Yeah. But
Washing clothes and all those.
maybe she just advised you not to. You don't want to like focus your Sabbath on this daily chore. Yeah. Instead of like strict like regulations say you cannot do it. Yeah. And because for me, I will not really say, oh, this is you should not do on a Sabbath day. Yeah. What I normally advise people is that this is what we should do on a Sabbath. If you attend church service, if you engage in religious activity that's related to your faith, yeah. If you do good work on a Sabbath, after all that, you still have time. Yeah, you can, do something that is like, that is beneficial for the whole family. For instance, gather together, have a meal or something like that. Yeah, something. But as daily chore concerned, I think we should minimize it as possible, as much as possible. Yeah. Leave it on other days. Especially if you're also free on a Sunday. Yeah. It's no good to trouble ourselves too much on a Sabbath. Yeah. As a result, you don't have the, calm spirit to attend the church service. Okay, we'll take a break from here. Pray in silence. Amen.